Hello everyone, it's Jack Cotton, luxury real estate expert, author, and agent. I'm here inside my beautiful, luxurious, but not overly ostentatious Cape Cod office, continuing with you in our series on negotiation. We're number 3 today. Just as a quick review, oftentimes we're negotiating when we had an objection that we couldn't get beyond. And let's just review our 5 steps for handling objections. Number 1 is to pause. Silence is golden. Silence is often painful. But pause. Repeat and acknowledge the objection. Isolate the objection so you know which 1, 2, or 3 objections you have to overcome. Deal with the objection, find a solution, and then close the deal. Close the deal is step number 5. So let's talk about some of the tactics we may be experiencing when people use them against us, and I'll tell you which 1 or 2 here that I might actually use myself in negotiation. But tactic number 5 is the red herring. This is when somebody makes, for example, a low offer on a property and they slip in a whole bunch of other stuff like, we want all the artwork, we want your car and your firstborn child as part of the deal. The red herring is those other 3 items that are meant to distract you from the offering price that they're making, which is unusually low in this situation. So when you get an offer like that, the first reaction many times that I get, and other people get as well, is to be overwhelmed, like, I can't believe they want all this stuff. But don't get discouraged. These are red herrings. They're really focusing on trying to get a great deal by bringing the number down low and distracting you from that low number by asking for all this other stuff, thinking that when you get rid of all this other stuff, you'll be willing to concede on the number. Don't be taken in by that one. Number 6 is one that I use. In fact, it's one that you see used all the time now in the political season, the trial balloon. Now, when politicians do a trial balloon, it's called a leak. They leak something to the media, and they gauge the reaction of the populace to that idea or concept. And if it's really negative, they say, oh, that was an unauthorized leak, and they didn't know what they were talking about. And if people like what they hear, then they go on and make it reality. So sometimes I'll do a trial balloon by saying to a seller, you know, if I can get my buyer to $2 million, would that work for you? Or I'll say to the buyer, if I can get the seller to $2 million, would that work for you? So instead of actually committing to a position or committing my client to a position, I'll do a trial balloon to see if we can get there or not, rather than having them commit to that position, because if it doesn't work out, they don't have any history of having made that concession, that new position at a lower price. So the trial balloon is a really good, viable negotiation tactic that may be used against you, and it may be something you can use as well. Next is the lowball. We don't have this a lot in my market, but I know in other markets across the country, when I talk to agents, there are buyers who come in at 25% under the sales price, 50% under the sales price. I mean, that's a lowball. It is meant to change the relativity of the situation. If the house is on the market for $1 million and they offer $500,000, they're hoping to get the negotiation started at the lower end of the range by giving the seller basically a slap upside the head. That's what a lowball offer is. It's a figurative slap upside the head. So when I get a lowball offer, which is rare, but it does happen, I always advise my seller to appreciate the offer, thank the buyer for the offer, tell them we really love the fact that they love our house enough to make an offer on it, but we're way too far off, and we're going to make you a token counter offer of $5,000. So we're going to count you at $995,000. We really want you to come back with something better. I have found over the years that works much better than saying the seller's insulted, we're just shutting you down, and we're not going to respond to that offer. See you later or come back. I've seen deals that could have been saved if the seller had just made a $5,000 counteroffer. I've actually made transactions when buyers walked away from another house that they were made a lowball offer on, got blown out of the water by the seller and the agent, came to my house and they did the same thing. We gave them a token counteroffer, and painfully, over time, we put the sale together with the first people calling back, trying to get the buyer back, which at that point was too late. So low balls are not bad, but understand them, appreciate them for what they are. My theory's always been a low offer is better than no offer. Number 8 is the bait and switch. This is what I never would use myself and highly recommend you don't either. But this is most commonly done when a buyer makes an offer. When a buyer makes an offer and says, okay, I'll give you $1 million cash, no contingencies, close in 30 days. And as soon as the offer is signed, then you get a call from the buyer's agent saying, oh, we need to have an appraiser come through, they're getting a mortgage. Wait a second, you said it was a cash deal. Well, we're not making a contingent on the mortgage, but we're getting a mortgage anyway. Now, that's all well and good, but the 30-day closing is not likely to happen now because the bank is involved. So unless they're using a line of credit or something like that, but we find this all the time where high rollers come in, make a clean offer, and then when it's all accepted, they start adding, oh, you know what, I think I need to do an inspection now, or I think, just adding stuff after the fact. This happens a lot in multiple offer situations when one offer or blows the other ones out of the water and the competition's gone, then they'll start adding more contingency or trying to add more contingencies into the transaction. I hate that. Number 9 is, are you nuts? Are you nuts? I've had people go totally ballistic, yelling, screaming, foaming at the mouth, going crazy. And this is just a very painful tactic to have used on you. And I just literally want to roll up on the corner and suck my thumb when somebody starts yelling and screaming and going nuts on me. It's a very effective tactic because I just have to really force myself to come back and understand that this is a tactic, and they play this game. And don't let it bother you. Just let it roll off you like water rolls off a duck's back. Don't let it affect you. Easier said than done, but when you recognize these tactics as tactics, you can smile and say, that's the are you nuts tactic. I'm not going to fall for that one. So some people are very good at this. And then lastly, we have the written word. I do use this one. I use it by having my commission rate pre-printed in my listing agreement. If you have a blank line in your listing agreement where the commission goes, you're inviting negotiation. But if it's written there and printed there with all the other print, then less likely to be negotiated because people don't want to mess with the written word. So in states where you don't have a standard contract, like my state, Massachusetts, we have suggested contracts but not mandatory contracts. Some people use this to their advantage by putting all kinds of stuff in the boilerplate about crazy inspection stuff, furnishes included. You really have to watch out for the written word if you're not using a standard contract. But it's especially effective on commission. Just to wrap things up on the tactics, concentrate on the merits of the negotiation, not the position or the tactics that people are using. And don't resist force. When people use a tactic against you, don't follow your natural inclination to retaliate and hit them back with something similar. That just doesn't work. You butt heads. You just have to let it fly by, roll by, and just forget it and see it for what it is, which is basically a tactic. But look for the principles, the motivation. What do the people really want on the other side of the negotiation to really understand the position and see through all the clutter of these tactics to try to get to a reasonable solution that all people can sign on to. So we'll cover more next time, but until then, don't forget on the first Tuesday of every month, we have luxuryrealestateunplugged.com. Go to luxuryrealestateunplugged.com. You'll log in, sign up, ask your questions in advance or during the event itself. It's the best deal in luxury real estate coaching I know of. Think of it as individual coaching in a group setting. 1 hour, first Tuesday every month. So until next time, make it a great week.